What would I invest in right now if I had $10,000 just drop in my lap right away? I'll answer that question as best as I reasonably can, but I also want to hear what you would invest in as well. So get your comments in right now. We'll read all of those. Of course, you'll get the usual live gold, silver, platinum price analysis and all the other fun stuff that we do. If you're watching this on the replay, use the time codes below to go to your favorite part. Easiest way to do it. But if you're watching live, you get to enjoy every single thing we do here at Good Morning Stackers with me, Joe Main. But in the first 1 minute of the show, you get what we call here the Synchronised Slurp. That's where you grab a tasty beverage. I grab my tasty beverage. It happens to be in this wonderful daddy mug right here, and we slurp them synchronously together. It is the honor system. You must do it audibly. I don't care if I can't hear you. You're alone. Doesn't matter. You're in a meeting. You're wherever you are. You do it audibly right now. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Slurp it, baby. Great to see you. We'll do the shout outs. Then we'll get into the topic of the day. What I would do with $10,000 right now and I had to invest it in something, right? What would I do? Get your comments in right now. We'll read those and yeah, we'll just have a fun time. Who am I? I'm Joe Main. I'm from Australia. Duh. Can you tell by the accent? And I live in Melbourne in Australia, and I have worked in the precious metals retail bullion industry over 3 major bullion dealers. Did that over 11 years. Goldstackers, Bullion Now, that's where you may know me from. The face, maybe more so the voice. I was behind the camera doing all the epic unboxings, but sometimes I was in front of the camera on the live shows as well. But I was their first employee, built, launched and grew the YouTube channel and all that sort of stuff. And then I moved to Ainslie Bullion, revitalized their channel, and now I help you launch and grow on YouTube and other social media as well. I do this for your business, whatever kind of business it is. Doesn't have to be bullion, right? I do it for other clients. So hit me up with an email. You can just find me through. You can send me a message. It's pretty easy to find me. And we just do this week daily live morning show. 792 subscribers as of right now. Hit the big red subscribe button to join the GMS family. Speaking of the GMS family, man, gotta say hello to everyone, all my regulars. CT from the Lone Star State in Texas. It's hotting up over there, isn't it? And I'm not talking about the weather. It's all coming to a head, isn't it? Interesting. Do not believe anything you read, anything you hear about US politics on either side. And I'm being fair here. On either side. If it's too extraordinary to believe, it's not true. 99% sure, okay? Because you're in the last week, the final days of the US election. It's just going to come flying either side, okay? And most people's minds are already made up. Anyway, so it doesn't matter. No. Pete Repeat. Hi, Joe, and hi, CT. Good to see everyone. Morning, Morning, Joe. Morning, Jason. GMS Tony Peterson. Great to see you. GMS Hazard is back. Great to see everyone. Synchronized Slurp. That is what it is all about. Let me fix that. And let me fix that. Intermittent watching today. That's good. I do things quite intermittently too. I intermittent fast every now and then. I intermittent drink alcohol, which is basically never, unless it's a Christmas event or something like that. So intermittent, that's fine. I'm cool with that. Black Hole, man, you've been away for ages. Great to see you back on the show. Where have you been? Where have you been hiding? Great to see you, Black Hole. It has been a long, long time. Thank you, Tony. Thanks, Chat Mum. 793 subscribers. Fantastic. And Silver Fox is here too. Of course, I'll wait for a couple more people to get in. You may not have gotten the notification right away. Of course, the show is brought to you by my 2 brand partners, Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au, Wealthstack, wealthstack.com, and it's also brought to you by, and I'll give you the quick plug for it now. Why would that not be found? Oh, I know why. Because you have to do it that way. No, that's why. All right, I'll do it later. It's also brought to you by my brand new private membership, where you're getting exclusive content. I'm already uploading stuff now, and you're getting exclusive discounts from Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au. It's well worth the 10 US dollars a month, 15 Australian roughly now, 180 Australian dollars a year. It's well worth it for the content plus the value you're getting from getting extra discounts from Perth Bullion Exchange. But we'll talk about that a little bit more. Let's see. National Guard. Ooh, what's this? National Guard. And the National Guard come in. Hang on a second. Give me 1 second. We will talk about today's topic. As I said, we always we do a quick few shout-outs and things. Let me just type in this because National Guard. I doubt it. Or let's have a quick look. Just no. I don't know what's happening there. Anyway, all right. Let's get onto it, people. Topic of the day. What would I do with a brand new 10,000 fiat dollar currency? You can call it US dollars or Australian dollars, something like that, that just dropped in my lap today, and I had to invest it in something. What's it going to be? This is based on, and I want to hear what you would do. And of course, there's a whole bunch of different factors, but it was based on a comment, a post on the Savvy Investor Club, and I'll highlight that just now. Give me a second. I'll highlight that. Where are we? Share the screen. So I'm part of this little group as well. Great, not even a little group. They're a great group. 14,700 members called Savvy Investor. They talk about a bunch of different things, okay? But this anonymous participant, I promise you it wasn't me, did post this morning, and I responded depending on, and I responded on their terms. Okay, so hi everyone, wanted to invest 10K over the next few months in an ETF for 10 years for my kids. Any suggestions? Okay, so of course it's going to depend, and I thought I'd expand that as what would I do personally as well. So let's go into a few caveats. None of which I'm saying is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is only what I would do given certain risk factors. All of my regular subscribers know that, and smart people understand that it's not financial advice. Get it? Got it. Good. Of course, it all depends on where you are within your life. Your certain risk factors. Are you middle-aged and have a family? Are you in your early 20s and single and fancy-free and you can take more risk? Well, that's a different thing. But here's what I answered for this person, then I'll answer it for me. Okay, so here's what I answered. Let's go back and share the screen. This is what I said to them. Okay. Now, I answered the question. I asked the question, but I didn't read the thing right. They want to invest 10K over the next few months. And I said, is that 10K you want to put down right now all at once? So my apologies to that person, was over the next few months. But my answer would still be the same then. Probably a gold ETF like GDX, for example. Now, this is because they wanted to invest in an ETF. So they didn't say in anything in an ETF. So that's why I would choose for them, if I was their financial advisor, of which I'm not, I would choose gold, very likely, versus silver. Gold because I don't know their total risk profile. Maybe I would suggest silver, but just for the absolute, I would say almost guaranteed kind of play, then I've said, then probably a gold ETF like GDX. Then watch the ratio between that, the GDX, and the S&P 500, the SPX, and swap over at some point when the S&P 500, the stock market index, is highly undervalued versus GDX. A gold, it tracks the price of gold. It's a gold index. Okay, so this also happens to coincide with the post that I did this morning on the Gold and Silver Stackers Australia forum, where I posted a chart of, what do you know, the gold versus the stock market index. We have spoken about it before. It's coming up to a really interesting point here. Okay, so gold versus the US stock market index, 3-month candles. Every candle here is 3 months. Let's take an up close look. Let me get my head out the way so that you can see it. Right there. Let's get rid of that too. Creeping closer to the final hurdle of 0.5 or 0.5, so the halfway mark. Okay, if you want to call it that. There's parity. So parity would be right here. So that's where 1 ounce of gold equals 1 share of the stock market, but currently it's less than half. So 1 ounce of gold will buy you 0.48 shares of the stock market index. Okay, many believe it's takeoff time after we close above this mark here. I think it's very obvious, we'll take a look at the live price as well, where the big whales see the confirmation of capital rotation from the stock market into precious metals. This is probably the most important ratio to watch over the next 5 to 10 years. I remain with that. So here is the live gold to SPX ratio priced in, well, it's a ratio, so it doesn't matter what's priced in, but it's gold in USD against the stock market index, which is in USD. Cool. Very clear. We have spoken about this before. This is for the newbies who are finding my channel as well. And this is a refresher for my regular subscribers. And of course, I'm going to tell you what I think this person should do, not knowing all their variables. And I'm going to tell you what I think I would probably do right now in my current situation. So, but this is the gold versus SPX ratio. As I said, spoke about this last week. We'll pop in a couple of quick little things. So I have a rectangular box area and I have a couple of little things there. Now, I'm not saying it's going to do this, but imagine if it only did this. Imagine if it did this, and I'm not saying it's going there. It could shoot through the moon. It could go way, way higher, or it could find an area of resistance, somewhere lower. But imagine if it did roughly this, okay? After this very key support level, support, and it became resistance. Again, these are quarterly timeframes. Each one of these candles is 3 months worth of time. Okay, this is very macro stuff. This goes all the way back to the early 2000s. Okay, as this is going up, gold is outperforming the stock market. So much better to be in gold between early 2000s and 2011 in the peak of the last gold bull market. Got it? Then from here to here, roughly, you can call it anywhere down here. It's a bit of consolidation, but somewhere roughly here to here-ish. Well, actually, technically, here to here, technically. So January, roughly 2022, a couple of years ago, it was much, much better to be a stock market index holder. Just pop it in the S&P 500, a bunch of your wealth, a certain percentage of your portfolio, and you've just waited. You've seen, wow, look at that. Oh, man, I can swap my stock market indices for a whole bunch of gold down here. And then maybe you've noticed this, right? And then you see it creeping. Resistance. It's broken out of this downtrend line, and it's the first time in the last couple of candles where we have closed, not spiked. See that spike right there? See that spike right there? We've closed. And for a lot of people, this is the confirmation of this is the turnaround here, and this is the new U-shape, the new arc, okay? It hasn't confirmed it yet, but it's looking really good. Anything can happen. That's why it's not financial advice, okay? Stock market could go through the roof now. For some reason, don't think it will. Gold could crash. For some reason, don't think it will, okay? We do think it's going to continue like this. So, for example, over the next 5, 10 years, I think this takes it to roughly, ignore the time frames, this just takes it to 2030. So that's about 6 years from now. It could take longer, it could take shorter. Imagine something like this, where you see gold really outperforming the stock market. And to give you an example, and I think we did this last time, let's say you bought it, let's say you waited for confirmation at around about 0.5, 0.51, okay? And you started taking some profit around about this area here. Well, you've doubled your stock market indices, okay? You've doubled the amount of shares that you could have bought versus buying right now, okay? Now that could be because gold is going through the roof, and maybe stock market is going up but not going up as fast, or, which many people believe, and it's usually the case, gold is going up because the value of the dollar is going down. The stock market will likely have some kind of retrace at some point. Some say, 50% move is quite usual. There are periods where you have 50% down moves, so that could all coincide. Gold's going through the roof, stock market is going down, that's why you see this huge move. So imagine doing it right there, or even even higher at about, 130%. But hey, if you double your investment right there, that is fantastic. And it's actually more than doubling the investment, because we're talking about a ratio here. But this is the big one. And this is the big one that the big whales will be looking at eventually swapping back over. So you will see this at some point. I don't know where it hits. This will then, let's assume it's here. I'm not saying it's going to be here. Let's assume it's here. This will tick over again, where once again, at some point in time, it's going to be better to be in the stock market index. That's just very easy. S&P 500. You just park it in there. You're not buying individual stocks. You don't have to worry about it. You just go, S&P 500. That's it. And just set and forget, right? That will happen at some point. Where it gets down to, I don't know. Where it goes from, hey, it could be there. I don't know. But it will tick over. And that's where, again, the big whale investors will go, wow, gold's had that great run now. It's really highly overvalued against the stock market. I'm getting back into the stock market. Cool. So that is what I would suggest to this specific person. Okay. If I were their financial advisor, pop it in gold. And because you wanted a gold ETF, something like the GDX is probably a great way to go. Okay, so that would be my advice to them, non-financial advice. Okay, what would I do right now? And I want to get your opinions as what you would do as well. So here's what I would do, and this is based on my risk tolerance. Now, if someone wants to really test me on it, can someone just send me a spare 10K? That would be lovely. Just send me a spare 10K. It's okay. It's fine. I'll be your guinea pig. Send me it and then we can test it. All right. You can all gather, let's do a bunch of super chats. Super chats are on. And we'll get $10,000 worth and I'll pop it into the thing. Can you do that? Great. Thanks. So my risk tolerance. So I have personally, I've got physical silver. I'm pretty much all silver. I own a little bit of gold, I don't have it on right now, and I have a little bit of platinum, and that's me. And I am in my mid-40s. Well, some would say late 40s, but I'm 46. Mid-40s, 2 young children, family, all that kind of stuff, right? So that's my general risk tolerance. I have a lot of silver. I would very likely, and I have, physical silver as well. Me personally, I would quite likely do almost the same thing as I was telling this person here. I think I'd either I'm obviously going to do precious metals. I wouldn't be looking at crypto right now, not necessarily. And it's based over the next 10 years. So I'll use those rules for the next 10 years to park it and leave it for my kids. So this is what I would do. What am I going to do for, parking it for my kids for the next 10 years? It's for them. It's not for me. I think very likely it would be the same thing. If not, we'll also take a look at silver versus the S&P 500. But what I would be doing personally with another $10,000 dropped in my lap right now, I had to invest it and it was for my children's future. Okay. For them to have in 10 years time or whatever, it would be precious metals and it's either going to be gold or silver. And it might even be the ETFs as well, because I've got enough physical where I'm kind of covered for that, SHTF kind of scenario. So let's take a look at silver as well. And that's what I would do. And I want to hear your opinions below. But let's take a look at silver versus the SPX as well. Let me just get rid of that. No, that's what I wanted right here. So we're going to take a look at silver as well. I'm still umming and ahhing between gold and silver. If what I would do for my kids, it's probably, I don't want to take as much risk, okay? I mean, silver for me, I'm pretty much all in it, but let me find, what are we doing? Here we are. Silver versus the SIL. Oh, that's the SIL, okay. Let me take that. Well, silver or SIL? No, I'll go silver, give me a sec. Silver bullion, silver spot. Here we go. This is silver versus the S&P 500. Similar thing. I've shown you this before. Similar thing to gold, except it's got a little bit more room to go. This is the quarterly time frame. A little bit more room to go before it gets to its final hurdle, of which I think makes quite good sense there. It's very similar. It's about the same mark in which it is for the gold to the S&P 500. That's at that 0.007 mark. That's the final hurdle for me personally. And once it starts clicking over there, I would be looking at that. Now, if I had $10,000 and I had to invest it right now and not over the next few months, if someone put a gun to my head today and said, you've got to invest it today or else you don't get it. Not a gun to my head, but if they dangled that in front of me, I'll give it to you now. You have to invest it today, Monday the 4th of November. Let's take a look. So we haven't confirmed above. The other thing we would need to look at is the gold to silver ratio. as well. But that's the final hurdle right there. And now, for example, if I bought today, I was forced to buy today. Is that yeah, I didn't want that. Excuse me. Cross. There you go. So that is, as of right now, that's at 0.006. That's a rough, geez. Here's the thing. Look at this. Here's the big difference. And can be the very interesting risk to reward ratio of doing silver versus gold. We saw those kind of profit-taking areas, and the gains you can get are a lot more on silver currently. So let me go back and I'll show you. But again, get your comments in right now. What would you do? What you would do might be completely different to me, but you have to invest it. You don't have to do the kids thing. That's just my little caveats that I'm putting in. Here's very quickly. Here's the gold to SPX. As I said, if we get up to say the 0.5 level right there, that's at 1-to-1. Okay, so let's say we get a 1-to-1 parity. 1 ounce of gold is worth 1, point on the stock market index. That's about a 100% move. So that's the 0.5 Fibonacci from the old high and what is probably the low right now. Definitely the low. Old high, old low. There's your 0.5 mark right there. There's your 0.618, the golden ratio, and that's at 1.18. So over parity. Okay, and that's about a 130% move. Now let's go to silver. Back to silver and take a look at that. Silver versus SPX. So let's go to the 0.5, and this is what I did. So the 0.5, which was 100% move in gold, it's a 280% move in gold to get back to just the 0.5 mark. To get to the golden ratio number of 0.618 from this high and this low, you're talking 360%. That's a much larger gain. Okay, now, having said all this, a much larger gain comes with the potential larger risk. Okay, so I would probably be, now this is me, because I have a bunch of silver physical bullion in the physical form, and I'm happy to do that. I've got it spread over a little bit over some unallocated as well. I think personally, for my kids, just to get that little extra risk factor out, I think I'm going to go, and here I'm going to say it right now, this is what I would do. So what I would do with $10,000 right now, had to invest it today, and it was for my children. I had to hold it for the next 5-10 years. I can't just flit in and out of it, all that kind of stuff. I'm doing the gold to SPX XPS ratio. That's what I'm going to watch, okay? So that's what I would do. I would buy gold with that for that reason, okay? For my kids, and all that. But if I were taking more risk, if I were taking more risk, I really would look at the silver versus SPX ratio as well. So I'm not going into crypto. It's not going into mining stocks. It's not going into that. I wouldn't take that risk on it personally. Again, if it's for my children, I just want a pretty much guaranteed profit over the next 5 to 10 years. It's going to be gold, maybe silver, but I'm going to stick with gold. So that is what I would do with $10,000 fiat dollar currency right now. Get your comments below. We're going to read them right now, and I'll read what you would do with your own 10,000 fiat dollar currency. And yes, SLV is the silver one. So we could do that. Give me 1 second. If I did SLV... Yeah, that's crypto. Jeez, Joe. SLV iShares, the iShares Silver Trust in America versus SPX, S&P 500. We could take a look at that. Okay, let's take a look at that. So that's the same version. That's the version of GDX. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's correct. Similar thing. It's basically exactly tracking, right? Similar thing right there. Yep. Right. That's the good. That's the because we don't have enough of the, no, that's about right. And then, no, that's right. And then horizontal, that's exactly the same. Where are we? There's that point. So it's a little slightly different, I guess, between silver spot and there. So the SLV, this is if you're looking into an ETF. Okay, that's the final hurdle at 0.0064. Okay, that's what it would be on the SLV. versus the SPX, the S&P 500. Okay, and similar profit-taking areas. Okay, your 0.5 to 0.618 on the Fibonacci. Cool. And I didn't show the screen. Damn it. There you go. Don't you love it when I do stuff I don't monitor what I'm doing? And I'll put myself back over here as well. There you go. That's the SLV version of it. But yes, probably I'd say gold for me in that scenario. So let's read some comments, and then we'll do live gold, silver, platinum analysis, and we'll get out of here. All right. Here we go. Pete Repeat says, for me, more silver. Still hasn't hit all-time highs in USD. Yes, and still playing catch-up. I absolutely agree. If I was doing it for me, it would very likely be silver. So let's do the now what-if scenario. If it was for me, I would do silver versus it, because I do think silver will outperform gold in over time. Silver hasn't even hit all-time highs yet. It will happen, in my non-financial advice opinion. But in the form in which I would do it in, I would actually probably consider keeping it paperish based with some physical backing. Out of interest, what I've done just recently, you guys might, out of interest, I'll tell you. You know how I sold a bit of silver on the good Gold and Silver Stackers Australia forum. Some of you may have seen that because I post every day there. Sold a little bit of silver, had a little bit of trouble with someone backing out of a thing, but other people stepped up because they wanted to buy it. So I sold a little bit of my silver. What I'm doing with it, it was a 2022 ounce Welcome Stranger, the limited mintage of 15,000. Okay, so what I was doing with that is, and this is a play that a lot of you can do if you've ever felt like doing it. You don't have to. I bought those in 2020 when they came out. They were at a certain premium. Okay, and then over time, that premium has increased because they were a limited mintage, and they're a beautiful coin as well. So I decided personally to take a little portion of my physical stack, and I sold this higher premium thing. And then what I've done with it is I've put it into unallocated silver at a very good price. So I've actually upped my ounces of silver, which is still physically backed, and I haven't had to pay anything for it. So I've upped my ounces by approximately 35 ounces I got extra. So from selling that premium physical bullion, okay, and then popping it into, out of interest, I'll just so you know, and screw it, it's a plug. I popped it into, I'll share the screen right now. And as I'm sharing the screen, let's do this as the plug at the same time. Make sense? What I did is I popped it into the Perth Bullion Exchange unallocated program. Okay, Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au, Australia's, let me pop that down there, Australia's only dealer that offers free shipping when you buy over a certain amount. They also have a new unallocated program. Now, unallocated programs aren't for everyone. I love the physical metal. I hold mostly the physical metal, but I'm also open to unallocated programs because I know and trust the companies because I speak to them every day. I work with them. I've either worked for them, so I've seen all the back end and I know how it works. Okay, so I'm happy to put my 100% trust in a bullion dealer such as, Bullion Now or Goldstackers, but Perth Bullion Exchange, I'm doing it with because they are my brand partner, but also they actually offer the best fees as well. So I bought a bunch of unallocated 1 kilo silver bullion, and their fees on the back end it's the best. It's better than the other big one, okay, that you're aware of. Okay, so their redemption fees are the same. You pay for physical if you want it, but their redemption for fiat dollar currency, it's only $25 per silver kilo under spot. So spot minus $25 per silver kilo versus some of the other bullion dealers programs, which their spreads are larger for the bigger bars, for the bigger sizes. So I bought a bunch of 1 kilo silver, and then to top it up, I bought some 1 ounce unallocated silver as well. So I'm diversifying my plays here. One of the reasons why is I wanted to have some of my silver just a little bit more liquid, where I didn't have to wait a bunch of days to sell it to the right person, to put the ad out, this and that and the other. And I also didn't want to, I wanted it so I didn't have to take a portion of my physical silver and take it to the bullion dealer who is going to do spot. Okay. Now I would have been able to get spot for it. Okay, sure. But I'm happy to take that little hit because I want to be able to divest very quickly. So if I needed some quick cash, I can really quickly, I could just email or call Ricky at Perth Bullion Exchange and go, I would like to sell right now, please. And then basically it could happen same day almost, okay? Or at least I get the payment in my account the following day. So I just want that little like as quick as possible in case I see personally some other investment which I'm seeing against the ratios. Could it be crypto? Could it be this? Could it be that? I just wanted that little extra, that quickness of time, okay? I want to be able to do it quicker. So that's what I've done. Out of interest with that. Why was I doing this? Oh, because I'm plugging Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au. They're my brand partner. You should absolutely be buying from them. And of course, if you want to get extra discounts, okay, extra discounts from Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au, you should be joining my private program. Okay, and we'll get back to your comments in just a second. Let's take, for example, the 1 ounce Asahi Buffalo round. If you want to buy one of these from Perth Bullion Exchange, you'll pay a very good price, by the way. Well, some of the cheapest bullion in Australia. You'll pay $54.76 Australian cents right now. However, if you're a member of my private membership, the GMS Good Morning Stackers membership program, which gets you exclusive content and exclusive discounts from Perth Bullion Exchange, you won't pay this if you want to buy one. You'll pay this if you want to buy one. You'll pay for one as if you're buying 20. Now, do you want to buy 20? Okay, you'll be buying as if you're purchasing 100. Cool? So you're getting that next tier down. Now, I did confirm, and this is what I thought was the case. It does bottom out at a certain point. If you buy 100, you're not going to get an extra discount because otherwise they're not making any money. And, you know, we want our bullion dealers to make money so that they can still be a bullion dealer to offer us bullion. Makes sense? Good. Capitalist system works perfectly in a free market. Cool. So buy singularly for the quantity price, the extra quantity price. And then you buy more, you get it for even cheaper. Plus, don't forget with Perth Bullion Exchange, you buy over 20, you get free shipping as well. So that's that extra saving as well. So that's why it does pay over the long term. If you're buying a whole bunch of ounces, if you're a regular buyer of bullion, it would pay, I think you'd be in the black relatively quickly to be a part of my membership program. Give me 1 second and we'll get back to your comments, but I just want to get that. I have to go goodmorningstackers.locals.com/support. Yeah. Good morning. Oh, how about I spell it properly? That would be really helpful. Locals. There you go. What do you know? This is it right here, people. So if you want to be part of my exclusive private membership program, it is the inner circle. Okay. So you're going to get exclusive content from me. It's going to be much more spicy politically. I can talk about anything I want without worrying about getting flagged by YouTube. I can talk about all that stuff that YouTube might censor, okay? Or now, nothing X-rated, okay? I'm not that kind of guy. It's not like, woo, OnlyFans kind of stuff. But it's all your spicy stuff. It's all extra content, stuff to do with my extracurricular activities like my pew 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 stuff as well. I'm going to give lots of extra stuff to do with investing as well. If there's something, a specific stock or a specific whatever, I'm probably going to put it there first before I put it out into the public. Okay, so you're kind of like getting early access to stuff that I might be investing in and all that. Plus, besides from all the amazing extra content, you're getting those great discounts from Perth Bullion Exchange, the extra ones that no one else can get. Okay, you will go on a list of people, and how it works is you'll then order as you would normally. Then you will send them a quick little message through the contact us section and say, and you don't have to because he could match it up to the list of people. But if you wanted to, you could just send a quick little thing and go, hi, I'm blah, blah, blah. My order number is blah, blah, blah. I'm a GMS private member. Can you check it against my name, against your list, and then add the extra discount? Then Ricky will just add the extra discount and then resend you the invoice. So that's how it works. And It is for $10 US per month. Currently works out to 15 Australian dollars a month, $180 per year. You're getting so much value. It's ridiculous. Every stacker, almost every stacker who would want to save, who's buying regularly and buying, over a certain amount, it's a no-brainer. Okay. Plus, you're getting a community, a private community of like-minded stackers. Don't forget, this is 24/7. So I love that you guys are talking amongst yourselves during the show, but you can only do this for around about an hour at a specific time, 5 days a week. Okay. But with the private membership program, you can jump on there anytime you want. If I'm asleep, all right, just 3 a.m, you have a thought, you pop on there. You guys can just talk amongst yourselves all the time, the whole time, 24/7. If you wanted to, you could start your own buy, swap, and sell on there. Communities are very important, okay? Where we think the world might be going, communities are very, very important to have, okay? To have people that you know and trust, even though you may not have met them, okay? We've certainly, helped people already in this little community here. It's amazing. So be part of the private community as well. I think it's well worth it for all those things I mentioned. And finally, of course, wealthstack.com. What's going on there? Let's try that again. Let me do a hard refresh. Yeah, okay, all right. Something's going on there. Don't know, might be an update. I will let them know. But anyway, wealthstack.com. They are my other brand partner. And of course, they do unallocated gold program, save and invest in physical gold. Great fees, spot plus 1% to buy, spot minus 0.5% in terms of spot minus 0.5% to sell. A debit card is coming, silver and platinum is coming. They're an absolutely amazing program. Great for the normie stackers out there because it's a phone app. You just download it on Android or iPhone. Send it to your normie friends, okay? Send it to your normies who don't want this physical bullion weird thing that we do, okay? Send it to them, and that's the gateway drug to get them into the physical, okay? You just go, hey, look, mate, guys, just get the wealth stack app, right? And just buy some gold on there. You can, spend minimum $10, right? And spot plus 1%. It's great. So get them into it that way, and then you sneak in the physical stuff. And eventually you'll be able to do physical redemptions with WealthStack. You'll be able to get a debit card. That's all coming in the next few months with WealthStack. It's an amazing app, and I'm happy to put my name to it. All right, that's all the plugs. Let's get back to the comments. GMS says the Don. Great to see you, Minister 988. GMS, everyone. Ray has let's see, maybe I would buy a 1 ounce gold coin. This is what you would do with 10,000. Maybe I'd buy a 1 ounce gold coin, then silver 1 kilo bars and silver coins with the rest. Love it. Great stuff. CT said, I would definitely buy platinum just because of Joe. Don't. The last thing, now I know what you're saying. The last thing I want to hear is, I would do X just because of Joe. But I know you don't mean that. Okay. Hornets. Nice. I put 10K on Pfizer. Not sure if it's great. Look, interesting. Now, first of all, welcome, Hornets. I don't think I've seen you on the show before. I presume you may have seen us through the Wall Street Silver or Silver Degen clubs on Reddit. Great to see you if that's the case. You put 10K on Pfizer. Not sure if it's great. I don't know because I don't give investment advice, number one. I try not to, other than a couple of things, I try not to look at individual stocks, even though we do chart requests and things, but we kind of keep it to specific areas. So if someone wants me to look at a specific mining stock, and I'm bullish on the mining stocks in general, if I was, then we can look at those. Pfizer. Yeah, I don't know. The question you have to ask yourself is, if the stock market has a 50% crash, do you want to be in that, or do you want to be in something else where then, for example, you're watching the gold to stock market index, okay, like we did at the start here, and then you're able to up your indices, up your shares of the stock market that way rather than buying individual stocks. Hey, you could be right. Pfizer could be, it's a top tier company. And imagine if you had bought Pfizer in 2019. Let's put it that way. So I don't know. Hazza says 65% gold, 35% silver, 35% silver. I've got myself. Great, love it. Dollar cost averaging is better over time. Absolutely agree, of course. So we're just using the scenario of if you had to do it right now. You had $10,000 and you were forced to do it right now. Okay, but yeah, 25 a week, love it, good stuff. Do the 10K, then continue to dollar cost average. Love that too. Great idea. DCA is the way. Simple and boring, but it works. Yep, the ticker SLV. Yes. Let's see. Government mint issued coins from your own country for me at the moment. That's a great point. Repeat. Why would that be? What would be the case for that? And I'm not speaking for you, but what would be the case for me to do government mint issued coins from your thing? Because if every man and his dog is clamoring for silver, I've said this phrase over the last 10 years to probably thousands of customers over my time when I worked in the retail industry. I said, if every man and his dog is wanting silver, for example, and silver is at a high price, well, silver would be at a very high price because every man and his dog is going for it. If every man and his dog is after silver, it's because it's a high price, because the herd comes in later, right? What you would be seeing, absolutely be seeing, on the current affairs shows. So Today Tonight, a current affair, those real, how we should call them, programs that are made for the general population. Okay, here's what you would be seeing: gold, silver, the next best investment. Why you should be invested in gold. Well, they wouldn't say it that way, but go, silver's taking off. Why so many people are into it? It'll be silver this, gold this, silver this, gold, silver that. Okay, that's kind of the time that you know that it's really starting to get quite saturated in the market. Might be a time, as the early adopter that you are, and you still are right now, you're getting in then, you've got to watch the media. What are they saying about gold and silver at that time? So if every man and his dog is trying to get silver and you live in Australia, there you're going to see the following things. As I said, those TV programs, right? And here's how it'll go. Gold, the next best investment. Why you should be invested in gold. Gold's been money for thousands of years. Da, 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 da. And today, here's an interview we did with blah, blah, blah from the Perth Mint. The Perth Mint is Australia's largest mint. Da, da, da. Perth Mint, Perth Mint, Perth Mint, Perth Mint, Perth Mint, Perth Mint. Okay? That's what you're going to start seeing plastered eventually here in Australia. And whatever that is in your own country. If you're in the States, it might be. And here we speak to blah, blah, blah from the US Mint. And they'll start talking about US Silver Eagles. They'll start talking here about Perth Mint products, okay? So that's why, and I agree, Pete, having some government-issued, now, I would say branded Perth Mint stuff, but you go government-issued coins, that's the extra safety play, okay? Because all the normie people will go, oh, well, it's a government-issued silver, it's government-issued gold and government-issued silver. It's got the king on the back. Oh, wow. So yes, I do agree with that, because those are going to be quite liquid to sell to people later on down the track. Versus, here's this random 1 ounce gold bar from some company that most people haven't heard of, that they're going to have to do their research on. Okay, and maybe they won't be able to test it. Okay, they got to do their research on it. It's like, well, there's that little extra layer of friction. Now, I'm not saying just go swap all your stuff for Perth Mint, but just have that extra thing up your extra play up your sleeve. I do agree with that. Having some government issued stuff, or Perth Mint stuff, you should have. But government issued, I do agree with as well. Would do some fractional gold, says Ray. Good on you. Fantastic. Fractional is a great play. You pay a higher premium for it now, but for the added play, the reward later on is you can sell little bits at a time, and you don't have to offload a giant 1 ounce bar, when gold in 1 ounce in Australian dollars could be 15,000 Australian dollars. You don't know. It could be. Not everyone has 15,000 Australian dollars for a 1 ounce gold bar. Can you imagine the time when we get there? Which, all right. Not financial advice. So yeah, fractional gold, great way to do it. And that's why a lot of people will be looking for silver as well, because silver is currently a lot cheaper until it's not. 24 carats. Oh, did you hear about John Adams' report on ABC Bullion unallocated scam? Yeah, I've been following it. Yes. So let me talk upon that really, really quickly. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. It doesn't mean that all unallocated programs are the same. Trust me when I tell you, they're not all the same. They act in a similar fashion, but on the back end, they can work differently. They're not all the same. And also, you've got to trust the people that are running it. Now, again, as I've said, I've had a very privileged backseat look at the back end of 3 major bullion dealers. Okay, plus one, my brand partner, Perth Bullion Exchange, who I've spoken to Ricky a million times. He's someone I know and trust very much personally, okay, and I will vouch for him 100%. I've been to the store. I've been in the back end. I've seen the vault. Oh, shit. So it's an old bank. So I've seen all this stuff. So I've been in the back end of unallocated programs. So I trust the ones that I've worked for. However, there are always bad actors. There are always people who are going to, if they can get away with it, they'll try and get away with it. Now, I know all the major bullion dealers I've worked for, there is no chance that they would do it with the management that they have at the moment, okay? There's one that no, I won't say that. That's cool. I'm very cool with all of those, okay? This particular company, all I'll say is, now you have to be very, number one, you have to be very careful with this because there's you don't want to be liable here. You don't want to be, defaming, because there are 2 ABCs, right? There's Australian Bullion Company and there's ABC Bullion, which is based in Sydney. So Australian Bullion Company is based in Melbourne, okay? And ABC Bullion is the Sydney-based one. So I've forgotten which one John Adams was talking about, which one. But anyway, yeah, look, some people are going to do bad stuff if they think they can get away with it. And by the way, let me say, I don't know if any of this is true, so I'm not saying it is true, etc. I'm not making any claim like that, so can't defame me because I'm not defaming you. So Silver Fox says, though, John Adams' investigation scared me out of unallocated. That's fine. And here's the thing, don't trust me, just trust yourself. Again, I have the privilege of working for 3 major bullion dealers and I've seen all the back end. I know, for example, Bullion Now would never do that. Ever. When I worked at Goldstackers would never do that because it was run by stackers. It was started by stackers. Bullion Now started by a stacker, okay, an investor in precious metals, right? Not this, those 2 companies weren't just some long-term held company that had been gone down through the generations and had been around for 100 years or whatever, okay? And, the further you go away from the original source, the more, not necessarily, but it's just, anyway. Ainslie I worked for, love them and trust them and all that stuff. I don't see any reason why they would. And Perth Bullion Exchange, nah, okay. But you trust your own judgment. If it's not for you, that's fine. I'm happy to do it myself. Okay. CT says, yes, the time change has been challenging for me and we just changed it. I don't know. Okay, right. Let's see. Howdy, David Williams. Great. 10K on Pfizer if you... David Williams says, yeah, put 10K on Pfizer if you have to flush, if you want to... if you have 10K to flush. If you're willing to risk your 10K and you don't want to lose, and you're willing to lose it all, put it on Pfizer, says David Williams, not me. Yeah. Personally, I'd be putting it into gold or silver. Sorry, listening, just busy trying to... okay, fair enough. To reassociate a boy kitty with his... Oh, goodness me. Let's see. Pete Repeat says, American silver eagles, kangaroos, maples, etc. most well-known and trusted. Yes. Absolutely. Plus security features as well. Yes, particularly on the maples. As I said, gold has saved my back, hence my decision. Good on you. Silver Fox says, if you know, you know. Joe. There we go. Yes, you have the benefit of that experience, but the rest of us aren't that lucky. Yes, that's right. Exactly right. Don't trust me. You do your own thing. Let's see. 24 carats. Can you please take a look at the long-term weekly chart on platinum palladium? TVC. Oh, the platinum palladium ratio. Yes, I have done that before. Looks like a long-term breakout and retest is underway for platinum. Yeah, might not get a chance today for that, but can you remind me tomorrow, 24 carats? I got about 60 ounces fractional silver the last few months. Nice one, and a nice tube of 1 ounce kangaroos to have on hand for when SHTF and barter, etc. If when, yes. Pete Repeat says, I have unallocated with BN for easy access savings. This is why I've just moved some of my physical stuff into Perth Bullion Exchange's unallocated program. David Williams says, I had 50K unallocated in 50% silver, 50% gold, but cashed it all out for physical. Just a couple of years ago. It was at Perth Mint. Just don't trust unallocated. Yeah, that's fine. Cool. Tony Peterson says, I know firsthand some stuff about stuff. That's right. Also really want to keep dollars away from... I didn't. I trust Bullion Now implicitly. So do I. Why? I worked for them for 3 years. I was their first employee. I trust them implicitly. And I can say, again, this is only just for me, I trust implicitly Perth Bullion Exchange as well. I can tell you, everyone, could Ricky be the world's greatest actor? Yeah, okay, well, but he's not. He's like absolute, Okay, so that is that. What I would do, you've told me what you would do, and that's great. Leave your comments if you're watching this on the replay on YouTube, what you would do with us, and I'll respond to those comments as well. Now let's do quickly some live gold, silver, and platinum analysis. Probably not a lot to talk about because we are the first day of the new week, but let's go have a look any ways, and I won't get time for that platinum to palladium ratio. We will do it another day. 24 carats. Pop on the show tomorrow if you get a chance, or the next time, and just remind me about that, please. That would be really lovely. So this is that's silver versus the SPX. Let's go to gold. I need my green ones. Let's go to gold. Gold on the. That's the quarterly. Let's go back to the daily. Gold on the daily time frame. Priced in US dollars, 2,739 US dollars right now. Still above this horizontal line, 2,685. Previous resistance, so still above there. Yeah, okay, so far so good. And we're still above the mother of all trend lines, which goes back all the way to 1980. So that's 1980. That's the mother of all trend lines. We broke above it. And I've been saying anywhere from hitting the mother of all trend lines, anywhere between here and here, which is anywhere up to about $3,000 a psychological value, we are peaky in gold. Anywhere from that point, from hitting the mother of all trend lines to anywhere up to there, we're peaky in gold. At some point between here and here, we will see a large retracement. Okay, roughly. Cool. So on the daily, out of interest on the daily, we are trending down on the relative strength index on the daily time frame. Okay, on the weekly time frame, we've had a bit of a spike here. Okay, on the weekly, we've had quite a large spike, and we ended the week in the red. Okay, now on the monthly, we're going to be absolutely, that was in the green, of course, right? A green month. We went from 2,600 to 2,790. So $190 US move in 1 month's time in October. Now we've opened November, and here is where we are. We are getting towards, we're extremely overvalued. We're in extremely overvalued territory on the monthly time frame with gold. Okay, we've had 4 consecutive months of up months. Okay, we had this little blip here. It was just kind of like trading range in June, and previous to that, 1, 2, 3 months there. So out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7 out of the 8 7 out of 8 months of the last 8 months have been green. Okay, extremely overvalued on the monthly time frame, over the mother of all trend lines already. Weekly time frame, extremely overvalued, Okay, that spike right there. I'm not saying that we're not pumping to here. Okay, I just want you to keep a lookout. We are really peaky right now. Again, you can have a blow off top to that kind of area, but do you want to wait for that? Do you want to trade that? No. Are you dollar cost averaging anyway? It doesn't matter. Is this kind of daily weather report? Does it really matter? No, but it's good to learn, sort of technical indicators and things like that. And at some point, this will be very important for you to keep watching the show. Okay, but dollar cost average is the way to go. We are above the mother of all trend line, so that's good. Okay, cool. Just understand we are peaky from here, and I know I'm broken record. I've been saying this for a long time. That's pretty much all I have to say. But there's no indication yet. Only thing I would say is that we are trending down on the relative strength index on the daily, but you can spend a lot of time up in this general range here, so that could turn around from here and head back for another run, okay, which takes us to that $28.75 to $3,000 level. Okay, we're above the mother of all trend lines and we're above that, so look, we're still looking fine for gold. Okay, but we are peaky-ish. Okay, don't be surprised if we have the major short-term retrace, which we will eventually have. It's coming. Okay, just depends where it's coming from. That's all you really need to know, I guess. On the intraday 4-hour time frame, we've gone back into the normal range and we're finding support so far here at that horizontal blue line, which I've had drawn in previously. The 1-hour time frame, here's the 1 hour. Now here's the intraday sort of stuff. Okay, we did talk about this. When was this? On the 31st. Yeah, we talked about this last week. The fact that we had gone into extremely undervalued for gold on the 1-hour time frame. So it looks like potentially you might see some higher prices in the next 24 hours, quite possibly because we are ticking back up maybe on the relative strength index, but I don't want to give you intraday stuff, too much of that, because it doesn't really matter, because we're dollar cost averaging over time anyway, and you're waiting for the bigger moves. You're not looking to trade in and out of silver on a daily time frame or gold. You're talking about months and months. You're talking about years down the track. Okay, but that's where we are. So it looks so far so good. We are peaky for gold. Okay, peaky territory. That is gold. Here's silver, $32, under $32.50, $32.45 US cents. We are back to. We had that breakout of 32.50 and we're back testing it right now. On the 4-hour time frame, we've gone into the bottom end of the relative strength index on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, you haven't gone into extremely undervalued just yet, but we're at a very clear support level. And gee, what do you know? Where have we found rough support so far? At around about that area right here. That's at that 32.50 to this uptrend line right there. Okay, gee, what do you know? Isn't that funny how that does that? It breaks out of a long-term held area and then it comes to retest. Doesn't always happen, but oftentimes you have a breakout and you have a retest. We need that to hold if you want to see this pump to the $37 to $40 area in 2024. You want to see that hold for a much more guaranteed, pump to that area. If we start breaking down into here, don't stress. Okay, even though you're below 32.50, you're still above 31, which is the final hurdle, which we closed last month above, and that's good. So I just really preferably don't want to see it close below 31 and definitely not below this trend line right here. That's the one I would like to maintain. That's the sort of longer term uptrend line right there. And even if you wanted, you could even put this following in, this one here following in, the following one here in. Jeez, that's what I'm trying to say. You could even put that in there. As long as it's sort of around that or that, and then you're okay. It's just slow and steady wins the race rather than a sort of quicker move to that 37 to 40 area. Okay, but I'll get rid of that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's maintain this trend line. What I don't want to see is this broken. You break $29.80. It's the new line in the sand. You break $29.80. Bum, 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 bum. Down to 28 really quickly. Probably down to 26 quickly. You break $29.80. Not good. That's that level right there. Not good. Breaking that. Not good for silver. Okay. But that would only happen if, gold's having a bit of a retrace as well. Now, let me say, not good is a subjective thing, okay? It might be good for you because you want to load up even lower, but 29.80, let's keep it there because that just says, the bull market's, still in full swing and we don't have to stress about anything. Yeah, cool. So above 29.80 would be preferable. But yeah, crucial point right here. Breaking down through here, you're going to watch 31. If we continue to break up, then watch out for breaking 34.50, and then that would say the $37 to $40 level might be coming really soon. Cool. That's silver. But do note, out of interest, we are trending down on the daily time frame on the relative strength index on the weekly. Yeah, weekly we've got room to move into extremely overvalued though. And on the monthly, we haven't even been there yet. So if I was going by the monthly, then you've got a lot of room to move higher. Okay. On the monthly time frame, get rid of all that. That's a spike that I don't like, and I think I spoke about this. Well, I haven't spoken about it yet because we've just closed the month. I don't like that spike. Not a fan of that spike right there, and the fact. Oh, I did mention this on Friday, I think. I don't like the fact that we just closed below this spike as well. We've closed green. We just closed below that spike. We did technically close above 32.50, but was just below there. And that spike I don't like. It says that sellers were in control of the market. And just as a pure structure setup, that tells me that this month, coming November, could be a down month. You would, as I said, you don't want to see it close below that 31 area and that 29.80. That's it. Hey, if it sails up from here, fantastic. Happy to be wrong. That is silver. Let's take a look at platinum. Platinum on the daily. What do you know? The merch is coming, by the way. The merch will be coming. Might get mugs and t-shirts that say, gee, what do you know? And synchronized slurp and stuff like that. A spike to, we had that spike below, and then we had the spike back up to right there at the $1,005 level, clear area of resistance. It was a spike and we closed right below. So platinum is currently in my cautiously excited area. Okay, even though I should be a little bit depressed for it now, it's technically between this line and this line, so it's my cautiously excited. I will remain like ho-hum whatever, cautiously excited for platinum until we get back above into my excited zone between 1,005 and 1,115 US dollars. We get back in there. If we start closing, for me, here's the line where I'd be getting really, really excited for platinum again. Previous resistance. So now it's going to be right about there, 1,030. I'm going to pop that in. Getting really excited, right? You start closing above there, then I'd start getting excited again. Okay, we had this pump. It was a failed move to sustain above the February 2021 trend line right there. I know this is very liney right now. Sorry about that. But we failed to hold it. Oftentimes from a failed move comes a fast move in the opposite direction. And yeah, we're just there. Ho-hum, whatever. Let's stay above 980, and we really need to hold the thicker yellow line. That's the February 2008 trend line. Goes all the way back to there. That's the big main mother of all trend lines for platinum. You start closing below again there, and I'm just in depressed zone. Okay, meh. That's it. Meh for platinum. Those are the levels you got to watch out for. That is gold, silver, platinum. No time for a chart request. Please mention it tomorrow. Final comments and we'll get out of here. 26 watching. Fantastic. Although now it's probably getting after that hour mark, so people have got to go. Hazard says, love that incremental rise on gold. Yes, absolutely. David Williams says, I love BN and PBE. Absolutely. I agree. Love them both. Let's give the show a huge like, everyone. Please do that for me right now. It helps with the algorithm. Chris King from the UK. I am adding the word peaky into my vocabulary. Yeah, it's looking a little peaky. Peaky, now out of interest, peaky is kind of from the musician, sound engineer kind of world. You would probably say, oh, I think I'm peaking here. but you would say, I sound a little peaky. If you're listening to something back, like a mix or something like that, or a live mix, and you're hearing the onstage sound, or you're out there listening to the front of house sound, and your vocals sound a little tinny or something, you go, I'm sound a little peaky here. So it's from that world. Joe, you have a wide, witty vocabulary for stating the areas of concerns on the chart. Ho-hum. Yeah. See, if I'm nothing, if not entertaining, and that's what GMS is all about. You're here for the fun. You're here for the serious stuff. But you're here for, we take it seriously, but we don't take ourselves too seriously, right? That is it, people. That's been Good Morning Stackers for Monday, the 4th of November, a new week. Let's see what happens this week. You'll get another show tomorrow, the next day, the day after that, and even the day after that. It's a weekday live show. Hit the big red subscribe button to join the GMS family. And finally, I haven't done it as an intro yet. I'll try and remember to do it as an intro tomorrow. We've got to dance it out, people, because this has been...
Good morning, Stack. Oh, yeah, we're feeling fine. Good morning, Stack. It's podcast time.
All right, grab it.
Grab a tasty beverage. Let's get in the groove.
And let's do the...
Synchronized slurp. Now
In 3,
we're on the move.
2, 1. Slurp it, people.
Good morning, Stack. Oh, yeah, we're feeling
Thanks very much for watching. Stay safe, stay informed, keep stacking. I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a great day.